Hey y'all, it's James here. I just want to jump in a little bit ahead of this episode and share something with you. It's been an extremely amazing process to get to run this game for everyone. And we're getting pretty close to our 1 year anniversary of actually putting out these podcasts. And so I've been thinking a lot about beginnings, and the beginning of this Kingmaker story has been really interesting for me. I mean, I think it's a pretty standard, like tabletop RPG sort of place, or storytelling even to start a story with some sort of like catalytic moment, some sort of baptism in fire. And in this case, for the players, it literally is a bit of a baptism in fire. And this episode deals a little bit more with the fire in the building. I think it's such an interesting way, though, in storytelling, especially in the storytelling that's really prevalent in role-playing games, to give characters this sort of harrowing experience that brings them together. And what I will say, and I don't want to give too much away, is these next handful of episodes really have some amazing things in them. Now, I have the benefit here of having played, recorded, and sort of looked ahead, but I want to ask all of you, the listeners, to try to keep that in mind for the next few, because for me, it's been such an interesting process to see these characters go from, and I think we talked about it a little bit in the show, folks who maybe have a couple of superficial interests, and in some cases, maybe some even superficial differences. But as the players have been working with it at the table, and as Paizo has set up and released this really awesome adventure, it's super interesting to see how this segment, which is a pretty traditional adventure in terms of like there's rooms, it's a little linear at lower levels, creates this moment to bond the characters together, to sort of forge them into this adventuring party that will then be set out into the open world of Kingmaker. Now, of course, what makes this interesting is that it isn't a perfect process. What's being forged here is pretty unique to the players and is pretty unique to the die rolls that we make and the story that emerges from it. But I'm just so excited to finish forging this sword before we draw it out from the stone and plunge it right into the stolen lands and our story of Kingmaker. And in case it hasn't been obvious, I've got a lot of King Arthur stuff on the mind. I've been reading the Once and Future King sort of while prepping this, trying to get in the headspace of those characters and stories. And that's a lot more whimsical, at least especially in the Sword in the Stone segment of that book, than this has been here. But it's been a real joy for me to think about the beginnings of stories, where characters start, and to get to share this story with all of you. So thank you so much. I really hope you enjoy the next few episodes, and I really hope you enjoy this one.
Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
So Jared just pointed out something really noteworthy. And I remember when we were recording first season, we had people ask like, hey, I am curious what the actual like builds of the characters are. And at this point, I think we've said a lot of things and referenced it here and there, but I'm not sure we've actually done like a little breakdown. So let's do the roll table equivalent of like a mediocre corporate icebreaker. And let's go around and let's introduce your characters, and let's talk for a second about their build. And then tell me something about your inspiration for the character that you don't think we'd know.
Okay. It's just like work. No one wants to go first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Icebreakers.
I'll go first. Lucky LeChance is the character's name.
Okay.
Beastkin.
Okay.
Which we talked about a little bit in passing.
Yeah, because I made a cat folk joke. You're like, not a cat folk? Beastkin?
Yeah, I'm not a cat folk. Just cat-ish at times.
Is beast folk an ancestry or a versatile ancestry placed on top of another one?
It's human.
Got it.
Ancestry variant.
Cool.
So, and they have like a hybrid form. So they're like between forms of like their animalistic form and their humanoid form, or their human ancestry form. And then I also have, he turned into a tabby cat in the second or third episode.
Yeah.
That's part of his heritage.
Oh, that's cool.
Feat.
Heritage tabby.
Called Critter Shape.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it, like my chosen animal is a cat
Wonderful.
ish.
I love that.
And so that's all part of the build. And he's a mastermind rogue, which really hasn't come into play too much, the mastermind part at least, because I've had a lot of opportunities to flank and tripped people. I don't really have to create an advantage for myself. So
First level combat is very basic.
yeah. It's been great though. And I'll be glad to have that later, I'm sure. And when there's like more people and less confined space and all sorts of stuff.
I've mentioned this off air, but like when we get to the sandbox portion, which is most of the campaign, there's lots of abilities for you to find yourself in environments in which like it's not a fair fight and you're going to win handily or lose. And so I think like even the ability for you to kind of get an idea and be like, the fact that I can't identify that means it's probably like the fact that you'd be good at recalling knowledge and identifying creatures, learning stuff is going to be a great chance for you to have some like, hey folks, so I don't know what that creature is, but we can't hit it probably.
Yeah. Mastermind rogue. So I have 3 skills that are untrained at first level.
Jesus.
So all but 3 I'm trained in.
Wow.
That's so cool.
You are
pretty
very
crazy.
smart.
Yeah,
for
very
sure.
diverse skill set.
And now what's something about your character's inspiration that we might not have guessed?
I was thinking that was my thing.
Oh, no, I like that.
No,
That's good
okay.
then.
No, I think we talked a little bit. He's a mastermind, so he has a little bit of academia interest. I think we might have talked about this before, but I think
I
there's
like
some wanting to make some sort of academic mark on the world at large.
That's pretty cool. Trent, we're doing you next.
Well, Biff is a kobold fighter.
No surname.
Right. He's just Biff. Kobolds are like kind of related to dragonkin and dragons generally, I think. But
They certainly claim to be.
Right. But they aren't, they're very sort of group oriented, meaning that they gravitate toward powerful people or groups and just sort of try to acclimate to them. Like, hey, we'll follow along and help out. But they will very quickly just kind of leave and switch allegiances based on whoever they deem is sort of strongest and best at the moment, which is what I love about kobolds. You know, they're realistic. I went fighter with Biff because I really want to attach him during the campaign to whatever makes the most sense. And so fighter is like a blank slate that you can build anything from. So that's kind of where I went with that.
Especially in 2e.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2e fighters are awesome. I think you're seeing some of that now.
Right.
Kobolds, like dragons, they have a color.
They do, and they and color changes. I know this is sort of something that's going to be changing or has changed.
So all the color dragons will still be in play. They're just going to be focusing, like whereas older Pathfinder, taking a lot from the like Dungeons and Dragons emphasis, focused a lot on the metallic and chromatic dragons.
Right.
Those still exist in the world, but what the Paizo designers have said is they're really interested in stepping forward towards those still being in the world, but really let in dragons leading in stories, focusing on dragons whose inspiration is not drawn from intrinsically element and good or evil, but on what is their source of connection to magic. Are they occult dragons, arcane dragons, primal dragons, divine dragons?
That's cool.
It's so
really
fucking cool.
And Biff is a green dragon, I believe. It's whatever the poison one is.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know in Dungeons and Dragons, that's a black dragon, I think.
I'll
is
look it up.
poison. I don't know.
Draconic exemplar green.
Oh, green. Yeah, there you
Perfect.
go. That's cool. That's right, because you said, Biff is a green kobold.
Yep. He is very dark green, I think.
I like that. All right. Jane.
Ariadne Vex is a human Aasimar, and she's a swashbuckler, which is really fun because I feel like it kind of gives you like license to just do crazy things like jump up on billiards tables and stuff like that. That just, I don't know. I feel like I just associate like swashbucklers with like a lot of flair and stuff like that. That just makes it fun to play. So, yeah, she worships Caden Clan, which is basically the god of having a good time.
Mm-hmm. And being nice and freeing slaves.
And notably also being brave.
Yes.
And so
Yeah,
I feel like some of the things she's tried to do have been around like, just like, okay, well, even if it's scary, like you have to be brave. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about her.
Caden Clean rocks. Jason, round us out here.
Nikolai Medved is the party cleric, which is pretty much my inspiration for doing it. because every party needs a healer, and I was like, oh, fucking get to play the cleric. That's awesome. So that's where a lot of it came from. He is a human because I like to do like versatile human and get all those extra feats because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's never a bad choice.
Because you played Pathfinder first edition, and feats are just like, it's like a drug.
Yeah. And he's a Brevik noble, I think, is something that we've all figured out.
Oh yeah, your background.
Yeah, but that's pretty much him. Did I miss anything?
You're cleric of Erastil,
Yes,
right?
of
Now, are
Erastil.
you war priest or cloistered cleric?
Cloistered.
Okay. And this, you don't have to reveal this if you don't want to, but what domain did you go with?
The healing.
Oh,
domain.
wow.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, no, sorry. Nature.
Nature
I make
domain.
a lot of characters. Nature domain.
That checks out. Very,
Yeah.
very Erastil. All
Mhm.
right. Well, you may not have the healing domain, but you may need to be doing some of that here in a moment because we've got a reactive strike or an attack of opportunity coming in here from, you know what? I don't know if you'll ever get to learn this man's name, so I'm going to drop it just because it's a great sort of villainy name. All right. Ari, you've jumped over the table, and as you're on your way to strike, none other than Nishkov the Knife.
Oh,
Nishkov
Name
the
tag.
knife.
It does
it's
sound
like,
a
on
guy-
his little like, hello, I'm.
It is.
It sounds like a
Bullet
guy
chip Tony.
Why is he called Nishkov the Knife? Because he has knives.
He's knives.
Because he's got
Abby.
lots of knives.
And his name's Nishkov.
He does have a lot of knives.
He does. And now we took some notes. We have your roll because you had a really great
Yes.
roll as you were rushing over there.
Yeah.
So let's do this
Very rudely
reaction
interrupted.
attack. Oh, that's really nice.
Mm.
28 to hit.
That is a crit.
Boom.
Oh, no.
Oh, max damage. 10 points of damage.
Ow.
Just
Wee.
bam, catches you right in the rib cage with that knife as you jump down off the table.
So rude.
Dang.
So rude.
All right, now you do have your attack. What was that roll to hit?
That was a 24 to hit.
That is a hit.
I thought you were about to say miss, and I was about to flip this microphone over.
Yeah, I would have been real pissed.
Just straight through the window.
I closed the
Fuck this.
door.
And I believe that I said I'm using my confident finisher as well.
Oh,
so that's cool. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Nash with the kukri.
Panache Cree.
19 points on this guy.
Jesus. Fuck.
Wow.
Yeah, so I actually went and looked it up. So if I have panache, I just get a +2 on damage. But if I do the confident finisher, I get that +2 in addition to my regular damage bonuses, and then an additional 2d6.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Damn.
You guys are deadly.
I mean, it's a lot of economy doing that. Well, here's the thing, Jane. Please describe your kill.
Oh.
Yeah.
She like jumps up on the table after she's just been like, good hit, Biff, and like runs towards this guy and goes to jump down, and he like stabs her and she's like, and then like wheels around and just like stabs him back
Where?
in the throat.
Nice. I mean, that's a kill shot for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. And he's down.
Damn, I was gonna question him.
Just killed him.
That was definitely the most violent death I've ever seen in my life. But also, right now, I would follow
And
you
she's
to
gonna
the
be
end
like-
of the earth.
She's like, could you just close the door before we all suffocate?
Yeah, sure.
Help us.
Because we're still in the middle of this building being on fire. So that was 2 actions. You still technically have 1 action
Yeah,
left.
so I'm
Jane.
going to drink my healing potion because
So it's-
Ari is down to 2 hit points, everybody.
It is an action to get it out, to
Oh,
draw it. So you can draw the potion.
Okay, I'm going to draw the potion out.
All right. All right, Smoke's turn.
All
so
you
we're
hear down
down
the hallway is,
to... So it's
That's what you hear in here, too, is this dude's throat gets cut.
That's true.
2 turns until the gallery where Tartuccio is filled with smoke. 4 turns until the billiards room is full of smoke.
Got it.
Biff, it's your turn.
I'm going to go over and not close the door, but get her... Be like,
So
oh,
one
hey,
action
how's it
to go
going? Let
over.
me just make sure you're untied here.
She's gagged and tied.
Yeah, hate that.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Terrible.
I'll do the gag first. I'll be like, don't worry, I got you.
She, as soon as it comes out, she just, thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
My hands aren't tied as well. If you're able to get those, please.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
I appreciate it greatly. Have you seen my... Oh, there it is. And she looks over and her giant scythe is leaned against the
Yeah,
wall.
that thing is quite scary.
Ari's going to be like, what happened to you?
I was going for a walk at night. I don't sleep well. And I don't know. I woke up, back of my head was pounding. They must have jumped me.
For some reason, I do feel like we're going to be talking about that later, but there is kind of an emergency situation at the moment.
Yeah,
This is-
everything is on fire.
Is there something I can do to help?
Yeah, if you can go help
Put out
put
the
out those
fires.
fires, that'd be awesome.
I'll go with you. Thank you, both of you.
Oh, hell yeah.
These guys suck.
It was mostly her, to be honest.
Oh, you got that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I appreciate it greatly. Thank you. And so she's going to get up. That's sort of, I'm going to say, the rest of your turn to sort of free her, cut a couple of things off. Like the hands, the feet, the gag, all that takes a minute. All right, Nishkov the knife, dead. Pull that off the initiative tracker. Lucky!
Let's firefight.
The lucky, the chance.
We'll go to the room on the other side of the hallway from where I was.
Yeah, so you go to that final, we call it the left, but it's the southeastern one.
Yeah.
All right, so you run into there. That room's on fire.
I rolled another 19 for 25.
Hey.
That's 2 in that room.
Nice.
So you
we're
got
going
one
again.
action
Lucky as a
left. If you
firefighter.
crit again, it's totally out, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but a 17.
All right, that's 3 towards that room being out. Now give me a basic reflex save.
14.
You fail, but you take 1 point of damage, which you don't take because of that potion you drank.
Nice.
Great.
All right, that's your turn. Nikolai, you're in this room with the statue of the, did I say elf? A half-elf?
Dwarf.
Half elf, you said.
I don't think it's a dwarf.
No?
No,
Catfolk.
Thought you said it was a dwarf for some reason.
could be
I
anything.
think you said half elf.
Khajiit.
Thought you said dwarf lady.
It is, nope, that's the gallery. Look, there's a lot going on. You are all in so many different rooms. A marble statue of an armored half-elf woman,
Half-elf.
one hand clutching a heavy shield, the other clenched into a fist over her heart. There's a recall knowledge if you want to make a religion check. What's that bonus?
Wait, do you have to use an action to do that?
It's an action to recall knowledge if you want to.
I'm waiting. I wouldn't be able to put the fire out and come back out if I did a recall knowledge first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So,
So I'm going to move into room number 2.
okay, the one that you've been working on
The
for a
one that I've
little
been
bit.
working on.
You're like, all right, you can learn. There's time for learning later.
Yeah. That was not the time.
Okay.
Well,
Is now the time for something else? Jason's checking the die, doing the math.
14.
Nope.
Yeah. And then, so I move back out.
All right. And you did restart your breath because
Yes.
you could breathe in the shrine room is what
Mhm.
we're just going to call it.
Did I get to restart my breath in the gallery?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
All right. Ari, what are you doing?
Ari's drinking her healing potion.
All right. Now, what kind of potion is that?
This is a healing potion minor.
Okay. So that's what? 1d8, I
1d8.
believe.
Yeah,
1d8. Yeah. Be-de-de-de-de. So I'll just do that.
So I know we have the plug in the end, but while you're doing this math, I do want to say that, like, I was looking around throughout Syrinscape for a sound set with some burning, and, like, I love some of these, like, usually just, like, the backdrops of, like, mood are great, but when you can get the, like, sounds of things crashing and being on fire. This one's actually from their Age of Ashes. This is when Cypress Point.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great, but better than nothing. So she is up a little bit, and then she's going to.
So it's
I
one
want
action.
I want to search the body of this big boss
knife.
guy.
Mishkiv the knife?
Mishkiv the knife.
All right. So, I'll say to search him is an action,
Okay.
and then take anything would be additional actions.
All right.
So, wearing leather armor, equipped in total, the illustration was accurate with 6 daggers,
Jesus.
Wow.
Wow.
and he
Thinks
does
he's
have 3 bottles on him, like 3 sort of potions, red potions.
Do I know what they are?
You'd have to take time to figure that out.
Okay, I'm gonna snag all 3 of those.
Okay, I'll say for an action, they're on like a bandolier. So I'll say for
Okay.
an action, you can just like kind of grab the bandolier, like the belt, and like throw it over your shoulder.
Okay.
And that's your turn. All right, Smoke's turn. 1 more turn, and then the gallery is full of smoke. 3 more turns, and the billiards room full of smoke. Biff, your turn.
I think Biff will follow suit and take out and drink a potion as well.
Okay, 2 actions.
And probably just go over to the billiard room door and close it.
Jathal's like, are we not going to fight the fire?
Yeah, we will. It's just, there's smoke's kind of coming in and whatnot.
I'll be fine. And
Yeah, I won't. So
no, she's shut the door after me. And so she's going to
Oh, okay.
stride, and you will all see a shape, like long hair, almost like unhealthily thin, giant scythe silhouetted coming through the door into the hallway. It'll be her whole turn, I think, to get into that room. Although Jason's counting, she might be able to make it into one of the rooms and help.
That's 45 to that door.
It's okay. 3 turns. She'll get to Lucky, the room you're at. And there's just like this visage, long,
they
dark
kinda
hair,
had a-
scythe.
They were kind of had a vibe at the dinner earlier.
That's true.
Bounce
Hey, girl,
around.
hey.
This room's real high.
Wait, yeah.
It's getting hot in here. Please put out this fucking fire.
Yeah.
Sparks are flying.
All right. So she shows up and she just sees you. How can I help? And
Yep.
she's talking. If you talk, you will lose turns. Or smoke.
I'll say something. I'll just say, head across the hall. Put the fire out.
Excellent.
So I lose 2.
Yep. You
Okay.
lose an extra round in addition to the one that you took last turn.
Right. Okay.
Excellent.
So
And
I
so
got
she'll do that. She'll head over there and
3.
start working on that room. All right. Lucky.
All right. I'm going to try this last one to get this one out.
Yeah. So here she is, just inhaling smoke, talking to you. You're standing in a fire, like, well, you got to look cool.
Yeah. I mean, I can take some damage, quote unquote. 11,
Nope.
20.
All right. That room is out,
nice.
and the window is still intact. Smoke.
So
in
how
the
many
room.
fires do we have left? 2?
2.
Can I
Yeah.
break
One
that
for me.
window
For your
with my last action?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just chuck something, like one of the pieces of wood that you like pulled away, like
Yeah. Just huck
through
it.
the window.
That's it.
Yeah. And now, for like what it's worth, the windows do have like bars over them, but you just break the glass and the vents kind of start
Great.
working on that. All right. That makes it Nikolai's turn.
Go in the room.
Go in the room. You got
Try
this.
to put a fire out. Natural 20.
Hey, look at that.
All right.
Motherfucking 20.
3 extinguished points on that room.
3.
And there was already
Yeah,
one.
there
So
was
how
one.
many are
Okay.
there total?
3 total.
3 total.
Yeah, because there was one. You just put 2 on
Okay.
it. It's almost out.
If you can get it.
Yeah, I'm going to get it.
Just go for it. Trust in Erastil.
Nope. I'm gonna get it.
Oh, no.
Give me
Anybody?
a basic reflex save.
All right.
What's the worst that could happen?
1.
Okay, you'll take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
That's the worst that could happen.
Did you say 1?
I rolled a 1.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, so you know what?
Critical. Oh,
Yeah, that too.
it's a 1.
How many did you say?
This is,
6 total because you took double damage.
I'd be hurting.
All right. Ari.
Ari is going to stand up.
Okay.
She's going to walk back into the gallery.
You were already sort of like standing crouching.
I was already standing
Yeah.
up. Oh, that's true. I was already up. She's going to walk into the gallery. That's 1. Would closing the door be another?
Yeah.
It's just like standing in the room. Gets closed again.
But if you close the door, if you close the door between the gallery and the main hallway that the smoke's coming in, that will protect both rooms.
Okay. She is going to close the... Well, these fires are pretty close to out.
It's up to you.
She wants to walk in here and be like, Tartusio,
Yes. What are you?
why are you laying on the ground in here when there's a woman tied up in the room next door?
What?
Yeah,
And she's going to do like I want to do like a sense motive.
No,
Does he
that's a secret
seem
check.
like
What's your
he's...
bonus to perception?
+5.
You're gauging that he seems really surprised at hearing that someone was tied up in the other room. And he does seem like he's lying when he says, I just passed out from the smoke. He seems scared. Like he does seem like he's lying. I just passed out. I didn't have any choice.
Did he happen to see that I just slaughtered these assassins in there?
Yes.
And she's going to be like, get out there and put the fires out, or I'm going to add you to the group.
I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to put myself in harm's way.
God, you're such an asshole.
I knew you were a little bitch.
She's like, I know you're lying. And she just like is going to storm through here and then try to go help with.
So you're going to leave that door open.
I'm going
let
to just
smoke
close
pile
the
up.
door behind
So
me.
that'll be your turn then, is get through that door and close it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shut the door. All right, Smoke's turn. These clocks are no longer relevant. All right, Biff, your turn.
Biff he'll walk out into this room in here.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to hold Tartucky at
Trident points.
Trident
Points.
points, and just sort of prepare an action
Excellent.
that if he moves, he's going to attack him.
Nice.
Okay.
My fearless leader has threatened him, and so I must stand by and protect.
I'm going to be really
Protect.
sad whenever somebody tougher than me comes along and Biff isn't calling me the fearless leader anymore.
Just gives you the cold shoulder.
Yeah. You're like, damn it.
All right. Lucky LeChance. Lucky LeChance.
All right, back over to the other side of the hall.
Where Jethal is.
Yep.
She has one extinguished point on the room, and the flames are licking at her. She seems to have taken some damage.
Perfect. Acrobatics. Let's go. 16.
All right, that's another extinguished point. You're at 2 in that room.
Uno más. Come on. Math is hard. 22.
All right, I was going to give you terrible math, but your math was hard. It's still quick.
Terrible
I
math.
could have been wrong, but I'm just going to own it now. It's close enough. It's
Yeah,
over 20.
It's over 20, but below 25.
Yeah.
So, little more work. Now, give me a reflex save as the fire in that room burns.
Oh, bad again. 10.
You'll take 6 points, so
Shit.
1 point
So
of
1
fire
point of
damage.
damage. All right, I got it.
All right, Nikolai.
Singed me.
I'll be continuing to put out a fire in this room.
You're almost there.
I'm almost there.
Whoa.
18.
And it's out.
Woohoo.
Nice.
Good job.
The window.
Yeah, smash it.
You got one action left. There's only one room with fire coming out
I'm going to move to the
to the shrine.
Yeah.
the half elf shrine
So you
room.
go in there, catch your breath. All right. Ariadne Vex.
No, he's probably laying down for a bit. Like,
Dives through the door.
Dives in.
Like it's in a John Woo film.
Okay. Seeing these two in there fighting the fire, Lucky seems to be very well equipped for that. She's going to kind of like, she's just going to stagger over to the door of the shrine room.
Uh-huh.
And she's like still profusely bleeding out her side. And she goes, Nikolai, please, can you help me?
where the fuck have you been?
There's
Sorry,
three
I just got Irish all of a sudden.
Where the fuck have you
Where
been?
the fuck have you been?
Like 3 assassins. They had Jethal tied up and fucking Tartuccio's in the next. Anyway, please.
Sure.
They hit her in the head. That she was
What
bound
are
and
you
gagged.
wanting me to do?
I'm like, can you heal me?
Sure.
We're still in combat time. Smoke's turn. Now you just were you
The
holding
fires are almost out.
were you holding your breath this whole time until you stepped into this room?
No.
Oh, so I need you as you walked down that hallway.
Oh well, in the hallway, yeah, but in the shrine room, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, she's not an idiot. She's not going to be like, I'm just going to breathe through all this
She's
smoke.
17.
Sure.
In some level.
I'm
You're
invincible.
a bit of an idiot.
You have explicitly said on a couple times that she's a bit of an idiot.
All right.
No offense
I
to our
never said she's a
17-year-old
bit of an idiot.
All right.
Just said she's cocky AF.
Biff, it's your turn.
Biff will delay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're holding
I
Tartuccio.
swear to God, if you so much as move a single muscle, I will skewer you like a Sunday turkey.
It's a big kobold or wherever you grew up tradition.
Yeah.
All right.
A skewered Sunday.
Lucky
For like a
now.
spit?
Jathal's working
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Take a +2 on this check on
Okay.
your checks to extinguish the fire.
Actually
Cool.
sounds delicious.
I could go for a Sunday
Can
turkey.
we just flash to Biff threatening Tartuccio like between everybody's
Yeah,
turn?
every time it's Biff's turn, we'll go back to that.
23 acrobatics.
And you two put out the fire.
Was that the last one?
Yep.
Say thanks. You okay?
I'm a bit singed, but I'm fine. Your friends, they freed me. There was a few of the mercenaries, whatever they were, the cutthroats that came in. I'd be tied up in the back room.
Yeah, well, I would have helped you myself, but a little busy back here.
No, you were...
Just fighting
Just busy
fires
being a
and
hero.
stuff.
No. Obviously, this is important work.
Starts doing push-ups.
Yeah.
I'm not even tired.
Steps out into the hallway. Excellent. Well, thank you. Lucky, right?
Lucky. Yeah.
My lucky day.
Oh.
Hey now.
Damn.
That
in
makes
a
me think
different
of-
room,
That
Trent.
makes me think of the Three Amigos, though. Isn't that Lucky Day? Isn't that one of the Amigos?
I
think
don't
it
know.
is.
I don't know.
That makes me old. That's all right.
I'm trying to think of the three.
It's been a long
it's been a
time since I've seen that movie.
It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
It is a great movie.
Yes.
All right. We're going to kind of exit combat time here. What would you all like to do? Do you shatter that final one? No, I think she does. She just whips her side over.
Yeah.
Am
Let's check
I
out this half elf.
am I getting healed?
when you're ready?
I'm so ready.
So ready.
So now you can
She's
take
still,
10 minutes to treat medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to. She's still so far down.
So, Biff, you're just there for 10
You'll be
minutes.
I'm gonna be like,
spinning like,
"Biff."
a pig roast on the fields of Breville, you son of a bitch.
12.
That's enough to get me all the way.
Are you
Anybody else?
keeping a list of Biffisms?
I have 1 HP.
This is
now.
all
Okay.
just right off the top.
I know, but I want to hear some of these come back.
I think Ari would tell everybody, she'd be like, we found Jathal, and there was 3 assassins in there. One of them was like really badass. And then Biff is in the gallery right now because Tartucci was in there, and he's definitely lying about like being unconscious in there. I don't know if he's just a coward or if he's actually in on it, but Biff is going to stab him with a trident if he does anything. So don't worry, we should be fine.
Cool. I hate that guy, so
Yeah, he really sucks.
he's the worst. Can Lucky just kind of do a quick run through of these rooms, make sure there wasn't anything unseen?
No, yeah. You take the 10 minutes that Nikolai's treating Ari, and
And when-
anything of value has been pretty much destroyed by the fire.
And when
A few
Nikolai
bodies.
treats Ari, she's going to look at him and be like, thank you, seriously.
No problem. It is a pleasure to help.
Jathal sort of looks around. Are we all that's left?
Are you injured?
I'm fine.
There are
She's a little injured, but
there are some guards through this door. It's barricaded, but it's through this door. They are holed up.
Some of the other adventurers are in there too.
We volunteered to come through here to clear it.
And Lady Jaramondi is apparently fighting giants in the dueling hall, which sounds great to me, actually.
oh
But
god. Okay. And she's sort of like she's sort of like a little shell shocked by all of this. So
we just got ambushed in the middle of the night by all of these people and giants and ogres and fire.
I suppose it's good that it was not just me.
Speaking of fire, I need another 10 minutes.
Okay. Is anyone
self-heal?
is anyone going to
Yeah.
relieve Biff, or is Biff just tied in there with Tartucci?
Maybe I'll hold you over this fire and we'll have us some Tartucky fried bitchin'.
Bit more of a stretch on that one.
Ari's going to
I
go
don't-
back in there and be like, Biff, how's it
I
going,
don't
buddy?
know why
guys.
you're saying this. I appreciate that you helped. You will never make it as a henchman if you save someone and then hold them at
Wait
spear
a minute.
point.
Wait a minute. How dare you? I'm not a henchman. I am a squire.
No, you're not. You're playing at it.
Ari's going to come in and be like, shut up. Why are you lying about being passed out?
Can I kill this guy?
Give me an intimidation
1 second.
check. With Trent, you can assist if you'd like to with that. Can I kill this guy? Let Trent assist first, or it doesn't matter. You can keep yours. All right, intimidate. You don't have to assist if you feel like you're going to be very bad at it.
It's a 10.
Well, so that's a critical failure. So -1.
Because he's so not scared of my henchmen.
Yes.
Squire?
Okay, so that is a 17.
Okay. I may have played it up a little bit. I heard people attacking, and I used my excessive intelligence and wit to feign an injury here so that they would just think I was one of the others that they had killed. Anyone would have done just that. Really, you should be thanking me. The amount that I've done, the work that I've saved everyone, this is how intelligent people handle these situations.
Anyone wouldn't have done that. We stopped them, but
You-
whatever.
Ignorant fools, then.
Okay, whatever. For the record, these assassins didn't just come out of nowhere. Somebody hired them, so you better watch yourself. But stay out of our way. Goodbye.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I've got a whip. You want me to flog him?
I can't.
He's not worth any more of our time. We
I'm
have
not
to get to
going
this dueling
sit
hall.
here anymore. I'm leaving.
Just get out of here.
I'd be more than pleased. I hope to never see your faces again.
Girl, bye.
And he
Ari's going to trip him
heads
on his
down.
way out.
give me a roll.
Acrobatics?
Nope.
What kind of
Athletics.
roll? Athletics?
It's a trip roll.
14.
He jumps over it.
Stupid.
It was childish. You're a child.
That's
Do
actually
is
funny.
childish.
That you try to trick all the way out and he's like,
Yeah.
"Boop, boop."
She's like, you're
And
childish.
then you guys are mocking each other as you walk out the door.
No,
you are.
And he heads.
I know you are, but what am I?
He heads back down. You hear him. Let me in. No, I'm I'm a guest of Lady Charmandi. Let me through these doors.
Oh, man.
What are you doing?
I hate that guy.
He is the worst.
Don't tell him about the secret knock.
Yeah. Oh,
Of course you
definitely
should
not.
let me out. How else would I be talking if they were still smoking here? No, I've put the fires out.
I like the
I
idea that
hate him.
we're all just standing there watching him like try to get through the door.
Fine. Then you do hear them open. Oh,
They're like, no, that's definitely actually Tartuccio.
That's Tartuccio.
Yeah.
Couldn't be
They're
anyone
actually on the
else.
other side. Like, do we want to?
So yeah, let's make way right for the dueling hall.
Yeah,
area?
we don't know where that is still, right?
It's somewhere to
Vaguely
the west.
we know.
Okay.
Now that you're out of combat,
I do want to roll recall knowledge eventually on this.
yeah, what's your religion bonus?
7.
Okay, so I already rolled this one. I thought you were going to do it as an action, so I'm just going to carry that forward.
Okay, cool.
So this room, you recognize it to be a small shrine to Milani.
Oh,
Do you know who that is?
it used to be your deity, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We talked about this before.
I was just reading about Milani in that last wall book.
Oh yeah, isn't she the deity of Lady Jarmandi?
Oh yeah, I think that was.
patron
Mhm.
deity,
Mhm.
her particular
Mhm.
worship as well. Milani. Yeah, she's a minor goddess known as the Everbloom.
Mm-hmm.
Fights against oppression and unjust rule. I will say, you don't really notice this, but you do pick it out as you come into this room here. You're sort of a little overwhelmed by everything, Nikolai, but Ari, you do notice that in this room, there is an odd, feeling of security and peace in this room, even when the fire was still burning.
I think this room is protected by something.
There was no smoke in here, so that would make sense.
That's nice.
And that's all. We can only feel the protection. We're not getting stitched up while we stand here.
I mean, you might anything if you want to understand if there are any other properties of the room, that might be another religion check to identify magic or something like that.
I'll do one more without killing too much time.
Okay, go ahead and roll that for me.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if identify magic is a secret, but I don't mind if you roll this open.
Ooh, 21.
Yeah, so you realize that this room, there is quite a bit of you're feeling quite a bit of divine juice here right now, and you don't think that it's the room itself being enchanted, but you feel that there might actually be some small presence and awareness, some fraction of the mental awareness of Milani focused on this room right now.
Okay.
And were any of the Aldori's allies to spend at least a minute engaged in meditation or prayer to any non-evil deity, you would be able to sort of get in touch with that and connect with it for a second.
Good to know. I don't think we have time for that, but
No, a minute.
One minute. We could
Okay. Yeah, let's
we could
do
do 1 minute.
it. I shall meditate for 1 minute.
So will Ari.
To, Erastil.
And
Oh.
as you kind of a couple things pieces together. Erastil is someone who Milani is friends with.
Yeah.
She sees Erastil and Torag as gods who support communities, which is a big thing that she's a favor of. Give me what's your religion bonus, Jane?
+0.
Nice.
So you wouldn't know this, but you don't know anything. But you could pray to Caden Killian.
Yeah, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Caden Killian, I'm trying really hard to be brave. There's been a lot of stuff going on."
Do you always pray out loud like that?
Yeah. What? Don't you?
No.
You're anyway, and there's this one guy and he really sucks, but I wasn't gonna, let him just get away with anything. And so I don't know. I guess he's not really in on it. But anyway, it's been a really long night.
All right. Anyone else going to pray or meditate in this room?
No, Lucky's busy.
Okay.
Looking around, making sure there's nothing we missed.
So what do you two do for the minute while these two are praying together?
I want to go listen at that other door.
To the south?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you'll be doing that for a minute. And Biff, what about you? What are you going to do?
Biff actually wants to go over to the body in the billiards room
Okay.
and take those 3 knives that were on him.
There's 6 knives on him.
All 6 knives.
He
Fighters.
even had a set of crossed belts on his chest that held 3 knives and sheaths per belt.
Yeah, can I take that
100%.
whole thing too? Bandolier, what have you?
And I think Jathal, as everyone kind of splits off, she just quietly walks back towards the Great Hall and leaves.
Bye.
Thank
kind
you.
of hoping she would help in the.
All right. So someone grab her pawn for me. She's gone. Skis. All right. The two of you pray. And while you do, I think, Nikolai, I almost imagine, because you're from a noble family, you probably had tutors at some point, and I imagine sort of history, you can almost hear the voice of one of your teachers while you're praying. Until the death of Aradin in 4606, by Absalonian reckoning, of course, the goddess Milani was simply one of the dozens of saints within the last Atlantes faith. Now, she was seen as a beacon of hope to all those who fought against repressive regimes, giving courage to those who had little but their desire to live a free life. Like, walks over to a different part of the room, chalkboard, like a slate on the wall, and he's sort of making some notes down. Now, you see, the death of her patron, combined with the tremendous upheaval and suffering that followed his death. Remember our lesson last week talking about the rise of the Churlish Empire and the wake and the fall of Aradin's death. It gave her a focus and attracted many new followers to her sainthood. Now, those devoted to her found courage to organize the rebellions against the infernal takeovers from last week's conversation on the Churlish Empires. Now, she helped many of those outlying territories break free of its control. Now, of course, up here in Brevoy, we've always been far from the reaches of the Churlish Empires and barely even close to those of the original ones that the Aslanti Empire itself struck back to under the reign of Lord Aradin. Now, these communities, they fought against slow slides into chaos and worked to restore people's hope that a just and good society could be restored back in the image of the old country's ways. Now, she's never been as popular as Aradin's other followers, such as Iomade, remember the Crusades from last month's lesson. Perhaps it's because the Inheritor, which you know is like a term for Iomades, worship at that point had already been firmly established before their patron's passing. Now, it is of note that among some of the other connections, it is of note, though, that it is said that the Thias, the herald of Caden Killian, still uses an ancient halberd borrowed from the Everbloom's arsenal. And it sort of comes back to you in that moment of that memory. As the two of you finish your moment of meditation and prayer, you become fully restored with vigor and energy as if you had rested for 8 hours and made your daily preparations.
Nice.
Lack any spells or
That's
other
dope.
single day abilities.
Hey.
As this leaves, you feel the presence of Milani sort of leave from the room. And for a moment, she just reached out, touched both of you, and imbued you with just a little strength against this to help defend a house, dedicated in her honor.
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
Nothing, there's nothing to see in this room, Lucky. Don't worry. Just
So the two
And
of you,
Ari's
I don't
gonna
really say that.
Ari's gonna kind of like wink at you and be like,
That was refreshing.
ready to go fight some giants?
Let's go fight some fucking giants.
Okay. Lucky, you're listening to that door in the south. While you're listening, you would have noticed that there's a lot of valuable art products in this gallery room. But we're talking wall portraits, giant furniture. But it is pretty well
He'd note it.
attired.
If there's an opportunity, maybe he'll consider it.
Take a couch. A settee.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, you don't hear anything through that door to the south, though.
Okay, think our way's clear this way.
All right. Do you say to yourself?
Yeah. No, there's Biff's nearby.
Oh, yeah.
What? Oh, I was looking at these
You can kick
sick knives.
You can kick this door open when you're ready.
Yeah.
All of you hear that down the hallway, which at this point is starting to clear of smoke a little bit.
She's gonna look at Nicola and be like, I think we better
We
go.
should go.
The two of you hustle up just as the door is bouncing off the wall. It's just ricocheting from while Lucky and Biff get a look.
I just got this vision of Biff kicking the door and it hits the wall and slams back.
Slams back shut.
I feel like I'm going to start doing secret rolls, and on a fucking 1, it does just slam.
Slam
Bounces off
back
the
in your
wall.
face.
He's walking through, and it's just like, bah.
It takes 3 points of damage.
I'm really waiting for one day when it's like a tavern and it's one of those split doors where the bottom or the top can open separately.
and just the bottom.
Yeah, and you kick it through and just the top hits you in the head.
I imagine you walking through and only your trident opening the door.
Oh my God.
All right, fully restored. That's cool.
I know.
Yeah,
was really
feeling
cool.
good.
I will say, that's when we're I wish I could claim. And I know, don't tell people how the trick's done or the illusion. Don't tell people how the illusion, Dad. It's an illusion. But I was reading through this, and that's something that's written in here. One, it's a really clever way to give players some hit points back in a long encounter. This is also very clearly a 1E structure thing, because I'm thinking about the 2E adventures. It's like one whole level's worth of XP with 0 rests.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's all, basically that's chapter 1 of book 3 in Age of Ashes. That's chapter 1 of book 1 of Extinction Curse.
Oh, and if you chain too many fights together, you'll probably die.
Yeah.
So get fucked.
The first book of Sandpoint of Rise of the Rune Lords is a little bit lengthy.
Oh, yeah, with all the goblin fights.
Yeah.
But there's like some mellow, but you're right. It's not a lot of resting. Anyway.
It's like, come out of combat, there's another one right there. Come out of combat, there's another one.
But I thought that was, a cool way to handle it. And two, I mean, all of you know that's been sort of like a pet project of mine in my last year or two of GM in Galarian to try to make the gods feel more present in the world, like try to explain that connection. And so that being written in there was dope. And the fact that there's this particular god is friendly with Erastil, like straight up buddies with Caden Kalian, I just thought was super cool. And references the fall of Aradin, which I always think is super interesting when you talk about the history of Galarian.
Totally.
All right. So the door opens. If you two want to move your your figures down there, Lucky and Biff, what you see first is a slightly smoky room. Most of it's starting to dissipate, but there's some that belts up in here through the walls. And it's just full of wooden racks with various weapons and stands designed to hold suits of armor. Many of the weapon racks and armor are empty, but there are still several weapons and discarded armor pieces lying around the floor and in the room down there in the south. So the smoke here is barely an annoyance, and it's pretty obvious that looks like anything of value was taken out of this room. But if you look around, you can probably still find some stuff here. And if you want, I have another bullet-pointed list of what's in this room.
Yes, please.
11 daggers, 5 long swords, 10 spears, 2 glaives, 1 halberd, 2 battle axe, 6 crossbows, 1 barrel containing 106 crossbow bolts, and 3 suits of half-plate armor.
Wow.
10 suits of chain mail, 3 chain shirts, 5 steel shields. That's all there is. I didn't really think this through.
Wow.
You did good on the fly.
Thanks.
No bows or arrows?
6 crossbows.
Okay.
Yeah, 11 daggers, 5 long swords. And these are all like common things. So you're not going to walk out of here looking like a walking armory, but if any of you want to armor up or arm up to most points. Daggers, long swords, spears, glaives, halberds, battle axes, crossbows, bolts, half plate, which are already in, chain shirts, and steel shields. I will say the only thing from a mechanical point of view, because we have some players who are newer to this, there's a rule for that, is that when you use shields, they can break. Now, if you ever enchant a shield, technically what you enchant is like the boss or like the main hardware. You can replace the wood parts that break. But if you are using shields to soak up attacks, having a backup shield is never a horrid idea. Or a two-hand weapon to switch to when your shield breaks. That's why a lot of people love the like hand and a half weapons where you can shield and like bastard sword one hand, then if the shield breaks, be like, screw it, put it on the sword and wield it for extra damage.
I am going to go ahead and add 3 more daggers. For no reason whatsoever.
Oh, God.
With
so
the
how
other
many?
6?
I have 10 now.
Yeah, you already had one.
Yeah, you do have a high. Actually, your strength isn't crazy high.
Yeah, I am almost at the encumbered threshold, but this is very important. I'm just envisioning a combat where I have to fight from a distance and I have really no way to do it other than just like throwing daggers repeatedly. I do also have a short bow with 40 arrows, but that's neither here nor there.
I like the daggers better.
The daggers have a lot of utility. All right.
Val did a lot of work with daggers.
Yeah? Who?
Val.
Who?
Val.
Never heard of her.
All right.
So this room had a door like on the northeastern wall that you came through. The northwestern part of this room has another door leading back up north that you could go through.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
I think
Biff
we
will
should.
very carefully open the door.
Oh, interesting.
I may have hit my last yaw today.
So you don't listen, you just open it, and it opens up into a large room with a floor of polished white tiles. I mean, this room's like 15 by 40 feet, give or take. And hanging from the walls of this room, various trophy heads. You see a stag with an impressive set of antlers, a large tusked boar, cranky looking oversized owl, maybe a dire owl, snarling wolf head, 2 different types of reptilian monster heads, all hanging up on this room, and then a set of double doors leading westward.
Let's go.
Anything valuable in here?
I appreciate the hustle. You look around, I mean, maybe one of these heads, but nothing else stands
Nothing
out.
I
Anyone
can
else?
You're just going to
Pocket.
carry a monster head
Yeah, we
with
do
you?
like
You know?
take the second to be like, do we take the monster head?
I will say
Hey.
the things are, there is a forest drake and the head of does anyone have a high nature score?
Mm.
So you might recognize a tatzelworm, which is a human-sized snake with 2 arms and a dragon's head.
Oh,
Ah,
This is kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies. Got
I
my
love to
cousins.
hunt,
I was
but
gonna say, is
I'm
that
not
your
a
cousin?
fan
My
of-
cousin's head's up
trophy.
here on pikes. That's kind of grotesque.
What's your perception bonus, Trenton?
+5.
So while you're looking at that a little closer, you do see that there is something in that mouth
Oh yeah,
covered in a little layer of dust.
I just stick my hand in.
And you pull
My little
out,
claw.
it's a long, hollow, like a dried out like bone, like it looks like a long, hollow proboscis.
I got a
on
long
little
hollow
chain.
proboscis.
The fuck is that?
Well, someone
Explain.
want to give me an identify magic check?
I can do an Arcana.
Arcana's totally fine.
Am I rolling you?
No, you unroll this one.
This may be a wand.
19?
Yeah, so just barely on this, actually. This is a level 4 consumable item.
Okay.
Trent will actually recognize this from another game.
Ooh.
This is something called a Bloodseeker beak.
Oh yeah, sick.
These
Oh.
things fuck.
I think I know what this is.
So I've talked about it before, but I always like to talk about the design idea behind talismans. And I'll also note that they've said in the remaster they're reworking talismans to try to make them even a little more enticing, because some of them can be very hit and miss, and sort of like if you have it, great, but you don't like go out of your way to use it.
Right.
That being said, one of the best non-remastered talismans in the game is the Bloodseeker beak. The Bloodseeker beak is a talisman which is sort of like scrolls for non-spellcasters. And even spellcasters can use it, but they're single-use magical items. And so this is a long, hollow proboscis harvested from the notorious Bloodseeker beast, and it still drips a small trickle of blood. You affix this to a weapon, and when you activate the beak, which you can do as a trigger when you hit a flat-footed or off-guard creature with the weapon you've affixed it to, you deal an extra 1d4 precision damage on your roll. And if you sneak attack the creature, you also deal 1d4 persistent bleed. So it's a one-time use that on a sneak attack can deal extra damage and cause a persistent bleed.
It's nothing. I'll take it off your hands.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem.
It takes 10 minutes to affix. So if you want to rest, you can and do it, but otherwise you won't have it going into this next room.
That's fine. We can keep moving. We'll find some time.
yeah, let's go.
All right, make note of that for yourself in your inventory, though,
Yep.
because Bloodseeker beaks. Fuck. All right, what are you doing at this door? What's going on here? Got 2 double doors going westward.
You know what? Anybody else want to open a door today? I feel like I'm kind of taking all the doors.
I thought you liked taking the
I
doors.
really love taking the doors, but I want to share the door wealth.
When you guys are talking, you hear in the back.
See, it's fun, isn't it?
It's not
And you
bad.
kick it open, or do you just
Yeah, I
practice?
kick it open.
You and the doors open up. The hinges need some oil, and you see a large recessed area sitting in the floor of an enormous chamber. Along the walls, racks with practice blades, stands holding suits of armor, padded armor lining the wall. Jane, you don't all move into the room yet. You're just
Oh.
at the door.
Okay.
Now, throughout the room, bodies are littering the floor. You see 8 house guard bodies dead across the room. 11 bodies covered in black cloaks and armor scattered across the room. And as you see this room, this room's big. Like the recessed dueling area alone is 20 feet by, looks like 30 feet, right? And then the whole rest of the room is bigger than that. And on the far side of the room, on the west side of the room, You see like 2 alcoves, a small word, because they're fucking 20 feet by 20 feet alcoves, one to the north and one to the south. Now, that northwestern alcove, in it, you see Lady Jarmandi sword out, single-handedly taking on 2 frost giants. Now, they are somewhat smaller in stature, much like the one you fought just a couple of episodes ago. But she's single-handedly ting, ting, and it's almost like in slow motion. You see her as the doors open, and like, bam, one blow hits her down, and she comes back up, and these shots are coming in from them. Like, one has a great spear, the other a massive hammer, and the blow's coming down, and she's not meeting it directly. She's just ever so redirecting it, sliding up inside underneath the arm, running back behind them, following past the momentum, single-handedly fighting the 2 of them. They keep circling, fighting well, efficiently to flank her, and they're uninjured. A couple of slashes here and there, but she's taking them both single-handedly. Even as you see her step back for a second, you can hear her mutter a word for a second, and her whole sword just becomes wreathed in fire. Ting, 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 shit. Her cloak like flaring out. At one point, she even grabs it and uses her cloak in her offhand to like grab the tip of a spear coming in and redirect it from her body, lunging back out, following it down as the other giant comes in and knocks her blade out of the way before it hits it.
Arya looks at Biff and she's like, I love her.
Me too.
You're the last week's flavor.
Yeah, I know. I'm not cool anymore.
Now, right as this happens, you see a door in the southwestern alcove open up, and you see 4 more black tier cutthroats enter the room, as well as this woman.
Oh.
You know what? Talk to me about what you see.
Like Kate Winslet with an axe.
And she's so angry.
Yeah. She's got red long hair.
Rating 6 of 10.
On the hair?
Yeah, it's a little
Catherine Hahn,
underwhelming.
for sure.
What's the... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it kind of does
Oh,
look
yeah.
like Catherine Hahn.
Dope snarl.
Yeah, very snarly. Like long kind of cloak situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Giant axe.
Yep, real big axe.
Wait, what's the movie?
Armor? Is that armor underneath?
Oh, yeah, that is a
It's like
long
Oh.
leather coat over a chainmail, like chainmail armor with clothes underneath it.
And kind of like a silk ribbon choker situation.
Mhm.
She also has 3 teardrops, like the guy,
Like Nishkov the knife.
Nishkov the knife.
Nishkov.
Is the movie Misery, where like it's the woman who smashes ankles with a hammer?
Mm-hmm.
That's very much the stance of her with this axe.
Oh, yeah. Like wide.
Yep.
An ankle smashing stance.
That's
Honestly-
an ankle cutting off stance.
If she was in the movie Craft in the 90s, I would be like, yeah, checks out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she steps into the room leading 4 more of the Black Tears.
Is there anybody else who's an ally fighting anywhere, or is it literally
They're all
just
dead.
Lady Jarmandi?
It's just her.
Oh my god.
Close the door.
And they step into the room and kind of begin to spread out there in the southwest. And you see Lady Jarmandi, like see them, look back, and then see all of you over her shoulder. She calls out, she blocks one hit just in time. That's their leader. You take her out, I'll deal with these oafs.
Oh.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
Tune in next week.
Yes!
mm-hmm.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Leave a review and tune in next week for more. If you like the amazing background audio and music, all that credit goes to Syrinscape. Make sure you check them out at Syrinscape.com.